Hello students. Now we are going to learn some new data structure type. Okay. So before we begin, let us see this example first. Here I have opened my Music Explorer. Okay. And in this music app, I am just checking my music. Okay. So I have so many music items over here. Okay. Now I have different playlists as you can see. So okay, I have one playlist called as instrumental playlist which has only 0 songs. Okay. So now I cannot play anything here. So I'll add some new songs to my playlist. So I have this music. Say for example, there is a music called as a music 1. Okay, I'll just right click on music 1 and I'll add to instrumental playlist. Okay, now I'll just go and check. Okay, instrumental playlist has got music 1 in it. Now I'll add more music. Say for example, music 2. I'm right click, add to instrumental playlist. Then music 3, right click, add to instrumental playlist. Then music 4, right click, add to instrumental playlist. I have added so many songs to my playlist. Now I'll just go to instrumental playlist and check all of them. So the first which I added was music 1. It comes first over there. Okay. So it is the first one, that is music 1. Next which I added was music 2. So it come next. Then I added music 3. So it come next to that. Then I added music 4. It comes next to that. Okay. So that means the first which I added comes first. The one which I added last come at the end. Okay. So now if I play my list, we will start from the first song. Okay, good. If I click on the next option, it will go to the next. Means after finishing the first song, it will start the next song. Okay. After the second song is over, it will go to the next one. And who is the next one? Music 3. Okay. After music 3, if I go next, after music 3 is over, we'll go to the music 4. Now there are only 4 songs in my list. After this entire list is over by playing, I want to add a new song. Okay, so I'll just go to my music and music 5, right click, add to instrumental playlist. Now again I go to instrumental playlist. I can see the music 5 has come at the end. That means whatever new songs I'm adding, they are going in a proper sequence. Okay, that is at the end of the list. Yeah, it is not going somewhere in between of your list. So it is maintaining some sequence, which is helping you a lot because it maintains the order how you selected the music. So this is really good job done by this music app. But exactly what technology or what data structure they have used over here? So let me tell you the data structure which we are using to maintain a playlist and play a playlist in a sequence that is given. The data structure is called as a queue data structure. So now let us go and understand this data structure in details. Okay, dear students, now we will go and understand what is a queue and the operations and different types of queue. Okay. So first of all, we'll see the basic definition of queue. Queue is a data structure which is similar to the stack data structure, except that the first item to be inserted is the first one to be removed. If you remember what is happening in a stack, stack is something where you keep on adding new things from top only. So we can push and pop from the top of the stack. But whereas in queue, it's similar to data stack, but the way of operating is little different. And what happens over here is the first one which we add is the first one to leave. So the first one goes, then the next one, then the next one, so on. So the first one will leave first and the last one will leave at the last. Okay. That's why the mechanism is called as first in, first out. That is, we can call in short as FIFO. Okay. So if we can see the proper definition, that is ordered collection of elements. A queue is a ordered collection of elements. Yes, it is maintaining some sequence, some order, where it has two ends. The queue has two ends. First one is named as a front and the next is named as a rear. So the two names of the queue are front and rear, from where we can delete and insert the elements. So for example, this is a queue. Okay, can you resemble it with the same one example, like a ticket window is there, okay, and there is this person who is giving the tickets, okay. So there are people who have joined the queue to get the tickets. The first one is this person. He is at the front of the queue. That's why I call this at the front end. Then this comes second, third, and fourth. Fourth one is the last person in the queue. That's why I say he is at the rear end. So the first one is at the front end. Last one is at the rear end. Okay, so whenever we do any operations with the queue, these are the two keywords which we should remember, front and rear. Okay, so if you see properly in a queue, this ticket person, okay, so whom he will give the ticket first? Yes, obviously the one who is coming first. Yeah, so the first one in the queue will be executed first. That means this one will be getting the chance. So from queue, we delete the items only from the front end. Okay, so this one will be deleted first. Then we have only 3 members. Then this becomes the front. Yeah, then this particular person becomes the front. Okay, then this will be executed. Then the third one, and then last one will be at the front of the queue, and then we can execute him. So always the deletion happens from the front end. Okay, from front end the deletion happens. And adding a new member, suppose in case a new member is coming, so he will join at the rear end. So insertion is happening at the rear end. This is all we can understand with this particular picture. Let us move ahead. So how does this queue operate actually? Yeah, what are the operations, and if I want to do some operations in the queue, how do I operate all of them? Okay, so what you can do is the queue can be operated with this particular two things, and that is NQ and DQ operations. There are two types of operation in a queue, which is called as a NQ and DQ. Okay, so what is this NQ and DQ? We'll understand in details. Okay, so now the first different operations that we are doing, the first one is a NQ operation. NQ is nothing but inserting a new element in a queue. So placing an item in a queue is called as an insertion or NQ, which is done at the end of the queue, called as a rear. So insertion always happens at the end, rear, but we call the insert operation as NQ. Okay, that is N and then Q keyword. So NQ always happens at the rear end. So the fifth person will join at the rear end. Okay. Okay. So the next operation in the queue is DQ. That means removing an item from the queue. Okay, that is called as a deletion, is also called as a DQ operation. So we remember it, the operation DQ. It always happens at the front end of the queue. So obviously if there are 5 people who are standing for a ticket window, okay, so they are standing in a queue, so whom the person will get ticket first? Obviously the one who has joined first, then the one who has come second, then third, then fourth, and then fifth. So when first person gets the ticket, he leave the queue. Now second person comes at the front of the queue. So he will get the ticket. When second also gets the ticket, he leave. Then third one comes at the front and then he gets the ticket. So this way this process happens, and here we remember this NQ and DQ operations. The coding for this NQ and DQ operations will be explained in the next video, which will make the understanding very clear how do we perform this NQ DQ operations. So please do watch that video. Next, okay, I want to do the queue and I want to write a program for queue, but exactly what way I should make a queue, because queue is not a proper data type which is given to me. I have to use some another data type. So which data structure, which data type I will be using, how I will generate the queue. Okay, so yes, that is a obvious question. So what we can do is the queue can be represented using two different ways. We can create a queue using arrays, and we can create a queue using linked list. So it is exactly same how we can do with the stack. Stack also can be implemented using array or linked list. So this is all about the different ways how we can represent. So let's say this is an array representation. So if I want to create a linear queue, that means a very basic, very simple type of a queue. Okay, अगर मुझे उसको array के साथ represent करना है, how do I go ahead with that? You see, this is one array which I declare. Suppose मैंने array का नाम रखा है Q, capital Q, और array का size दिया है, say for example, okay, so these are the blocks in my array. That means the Q is of size 7. तो मुझे array मिलेगा 0 to 6 location का. Okay, so I have these two variables which I maintain with me, that is front and rear. ये दो variable हम लोग maintain करेंगे. Initially front and rear दोनों का value -1 रहेगा. That means your queue is empty and there is no value in your queue. When you get first element, your front and rear दोनों भी उस first element को point करेंगे, because he is the only one who is at the front and at the last of the queue, right? So that whenever you get a first item, say for example number 4 is the first item to join your queue, that time your front is also equals to 0, okay, and your rear is also equals to 0, and they both are holding this value. Next, if in your queue, if number 8 joins, so when number 8 comes, yeah, he comes at the end of the queue. So your queue is, start point is this and end point is this, we can say. Okay, so I can say this is my front side and this is my rear side. So now 8 join from the rear, so he come this way and he join here. So my rear has to increment by 1. That means now my rear is equal to 1 and front is equal to still 0. Okay, now when 6 joins, rear again incremented by 1 and now my rear is, okay, so my rear is now equal to 2 and my front is now equal to 0. That means front is pointing to 4 and rear is pointing to 6. So this way we handle a queue. I hope you are clear with this. How do we do it in a array? Okay. Now next is, if I want to represent a queue using linked list. So linked list implementation is shown over here. In the beginning, when you write a linked list, your start is null in the beginning. Yeah, you say, you indicate with a capital null keyword. But when I add the first value, suppose say for example, first value I added is 10. So then my starts pointing to 10 and 10 says there is no one at the after me. I am the only one who is at the front and rear. So both your front and rear both are pointing to this node. Okay, and 10 says a null at the next part. But when we get this number 20 added in a stack, so now 10 starts pointing to 20. So 10 ka next is no more null. 20 ka next will be null, yes. And now this 20 is added at the rear end. So your rear will no more point to 10. Your rear will now point to 20. And your front is still at 10. Getting it? Now we have the next number joining, that is 30. So when 30 joins, 20 points to 30. 30 says मेरे बाद कुछ भी नहीं है, so my next is null. But your rear is now incremented by 1, so rear is now pointing to 30. So if you are doing a linked list representation queue using linked list, then we will have your front pointing to the first node and your rear pointing to the last node. Okay. Now after seeing the different implementations of queue using array and linked list कैसे करते हैं, okay, उसके बाद हम लोग देखेंगे what are different types of queue. Okay, so these are the 4 main types of queue. Okay, so the first one which we can see is a normal queue, which we call as a linear queue. Okay, जो normal FIFO structure में है, अभी तक जो हम लोग ने सीखा उसी को हम लोग linear queue बोलते हैं. Then there is another variation of linear queue and that is called as this circular queue. Okay, then we have a double ended queue जिसका शॉर्ट फॉर्म में DEQUE बोलते हैं. ये भी DQ है और हमारा DQ ऑपरेशन भी अलग है, लेकिन वो जो होता है डिलीट फ्रॉम क्यू, उस ऑपरेशन का स्पेलिंग हम लोग ऐसे लिखते हैं. This is delete operation from the queue, as we have NQ and DQ. This performs delete operation. And this DEQUE is nothing but a type of a queue, which is also called as a double-ended queue. And we have a last type, that is priority queue. Now let us go and understand each of them in details. First is linear queue. We have already seen what is a linear queue. Suppose we have something like this 10 to 50 in my queue. So if 10 coming first, the front will be pointing to it. If 50 comes at the end, then rear is pointing to it. If I'm using an array to represent it, so my array locations are the value which front and rear is holding. So front is holding 0, that means it is pointing to 10. And rear is holding 4, that means it is pointing to 50. So this is a basic linear queue. Okay, now next type is, okay, in a linear queue, I have some disadvantage or a drawback. Let's understand that. Okay, after a few insert and delete operations, the rear might reach the end of the queue. Okay, बहुत सारे insert delete के बाद rear हमारे end of the queue तक पहुंच सकता है. इस situation को समझते हैं. Suppose मैंने इसमें 10 डाला, 20 डाला, 30 डाला, 40 डाला, 50 डाला, and then I put 60. So my rear has back की जगह पे वो rear है. Okay, यहाँ पे उसने rear back लिखा है. So it is nothing but a rear end and the front end. Now my rear has reached the end of the queue. Yes, rear is equal to 5, which is pointing to the last block of your queue. And no more items can be inserted. aha, बराबर है, मेरा queue तो full हो गया. So now I cannot do any insert operations. Right. So although the items from the front of the queue have been deleted, लेकिन मैंने क्या किया, तब तक मेरे फ्रंट के 2 आइटम डिलीट हो गए. से फॉर एग्जाम्पल 10 डिलीट हो गया और 20 डिलीट हो गया, तो मेरा फ्रंट आगे आगे आ गया. नाउ माई फ्रंट इज एट वैल्यू 2 and rear is at value 5. That means ideally I can say in my array I can see there are 2 empty blocks. But can I add a new item over there? No, because ये बोलता है कि रेयर को इंक्रीमेंट बाय 1 ही करना है, और इंक्रीमेंट बाय 1 करने के लिए मेरा एरे का साइज खत्म हो गया. Okay, so this is a drawback when we are doing with the array, not with the linked list. Yeah. So इस drawback को कैसे handle कर सकते हैं? Yeah. So this so although the items from the front of the queue, yeah, although the items from the front of the queue have been deleted, there is a space in the queue, but still we cannot add a new value at the rear end. So this is one of the disadvantage we have with the linear queue. This disadvantage is been solved in the next type of a queue. Now that type of a queue is called as a circular queue. So कैसे solve किया वो देखने से पहले हम लोग पहले देखेंगे how is this circular queue. So circular queue, give me a minute. Okay, to solve this problem, the queues implement wrapping around. Okay, wrapping around concept use करती है. Such queues are called as a circular queues. Wrapping around exactly करता क्या है? Both your front and rear pointers are wrapped around to the beginning of the array. तो हमारे array का front and rear ऐसे दो ends है, वो दोनों end को अगर मैं join करूँ तो ये circle बन गया. You see? So I have these two ends, front and rear. I'm joining them together. It becomes a circle. So same way you see the circle here. You have the array का 0th location pointing as front and 7th location pointing as rear. मैंने 7th and 0 location को combine किया है, wrap around किया है. Now it becomes a circle, and in a circle we can keep moving ahead. We cannot get any stop end, yeah. And we can utilize the unwanted, the deleted values or which are vacant in the beginning location also. So we can also call it as a ring buffer. The items can be inserted and deleted in big O of one time. Now what is this big O of one time? Is a different time, how we calculate a time complexity. So we can have a special video for this, yeah. So big O of one time is nothing but I'm using only one time, one instruction, one line to add the new item or delete a. It is not taking much of my computer time, okay? So now, when in a circular queue, I hope you understood this queue particularly, okay? So we'll just go and see this. Suppose I consider that I have an array from location 0 to location 7, okay? And I had this number 10 over here, 20 over here, 30 over here, 40 and then 50. So 50 was the last value which I added at location 4. Okay, so now currently your front is at 0, which is front is equal to 0, which is pointing to 10. That means over here you can see your front, and rear is at 4. That means which is pointing to 50. So my rear is at 4, which is pointing to 50. Now say for example मेरा पूरा ये क्यू भर जाता है और यहाँ पे मैं 60 डालती हूँ, यहाँ पे मैं 70 डालती हूँ और यहाँ पे मैंने 80 डाला. अभी मेरा पूरा क्यू फुल है. अभी अगर मैं इंसर्ट ऑपरेशन, नाउ माय rear is pointing to 7. So we can see here is, now currently my rear is pointing to 7. Okay, so you can see this. Now my front is at 0 and rear is at 7 and my queue is completely full. Yes, I cannot do any insert operation now. But what suppose I perform a delete operation. So 10 is deleted and 20 is also deleted. So who is the first one in my queue now? 30. That means your front is pointing to 30. That means your front value is equal to 2 now. बराबर है? So I can say there are two blocks which are empty at location 0 and 1. So now suppose 90 says I want to add in the queue. So he can directly add and he will add at location 0. So जहाँ पे 10 था वहाँ पे अभी 90 आएगा. And then your rear is pointing to this value. So now your rear is equal to 0 and your front is equal to 2. This can be the case when you are dealing with the circular queue. I hope this is clear. Now let's move ahead. So when a new item is added or inserted at the rear, the pointer to the rear moves upwards. Means it keeps on adding by 1. जब भी नया element आता है, rear plus 1 होता है. So when item is deleted from the queue से कुछ item delete होता है, then front arrow moves downwards. That means front is also moving ahead, yeah. So here, how this insert, or when we are doing this insert in a circular queue, okay, what are the conditions which can happen are, if my queue is already full, yeah, so you can see here my queue is already full. मैं कभी बोलूंगी कि मेरा queue full है. अगर आपका front 0 है और rear 4 है, तो आप बोलोगे आपका queue is full. Okay, so I cannot do any insert operation here. I will give a overflow message. But when I say my queue is having some vacant location, okay, so there are the scenarios. If your front is 0 and rear is 3, you can say, okay, so rear is 3, that means, and front is 0, yeah, that means there is one location vacant, and we can now do insert operation. Say for example, if my front is 2 and rear is 4, rear max minus 1 है, मेरा max क्या है, 5 है, rear is max minus 1, still मेरा front तो 0 पे नहीं है, मतलब आगे के दो locations खाली है. तो अगर मैं रेयर को अभी 0 करूंगी एंड रेयर स्टार्ट्स यहाँ पे आएगा, then I can add a new value 60 at this particular block. That means these are the two conditions where I can say my queue is having some vacant locations. Okay, I hope this is clear. These are the conditions when we check when we want to insert a new item in a circular queue. Similarly, if I want to delete something from the circular queue, what I will see, अगर मुझे डिलीट करना है तो पहले देखना पड़ेगा कि क्यू एम्प्टी तो नहीं है. सो एम्प्टी क्यू का कंडीशन क्या है, अगर मेरा फ्रंट एंड रेयर दोनों भी -1 है तो मैं बोलूंगी मेरा क्यू इज एम्प्टी. ओके, एंड देन आई विल गिव अ मैसेज सेइंग इट इज अ अंडरफ्लो. ओके, so that will be the case when your queue is totally empty, both are -1. When your queue is having vacant locations, if my front and rear दोनों भी एक ही value पे है, okay, but it is not -1, then I can say मेरे पास एक ही value है and I can delete that value. So now deletion is possible, and that's why we say, okay, there is a place. If my front is equal to max -1, अगर मेरा front max -1 पे है, मतलब queue में सबसे starting में कौन है, 50, उसके बाद कौन है 60, और उसके बाद कौन है 70. लेकिन 50 कौन से लोकेशन पे है, एरे के 4th लोकेशन पे, और 70 एरे के 1 लोकेशन पे. Still I have values in my queue, and I can say I can delete a value, and which will be the first value to be deleted? Yes, of course, 50 will be deleted first, and front will now become 0, which will point to 60. Okay, so this is all about insert and delete operations. It is a DQ is a double-ended queue. Now what is a double-ended queue? It is a double-ended queue. Elements can be inserted and deleted from either ends. अभी ये queue को हम लोगों ने थोड़ा advanced बनाया है और उसके restrictions को थोड़ा loose किया है. So हम लोग सिर्फ add सिर्फ end से कर सकते हैं, delete सिर्फ front से कर सकते हो. So what if I allow them to insert and delete from the both the ends? Will it be a good combination, or will it be helping me to solve some of the application area? Okay. So yes, it may be used in some of the application area efficiently. It is also called as a head-tail linked list, okay, because elements can be added or removed from either of the front or the back end, that is head and tail. Okay, so it is a more versatile data structure because कहीं से भी हम लोग add delete कर सकते हैं, and structure than stack or queue. Normal stack और queue से हम लोग इसको versatile बोल सकते हैं. In a double-ended queue, there are two pointers, और उसको pointers का नाम हम लोग देते हैं left and right. Instead of saying front and rear, हम लोग उसको left and right बोलते हैं, because it is making that restriction easy, that is you add from the rear and delete from the front. So we call it as a left and right end of the double-ended queue. Now let us see this example. This we call as a DQ, or the double-ended queue. Say for example, I have these values 5, 11, 3, 9, 4 in my queue, and your front, say for example, front is pointing to the 5 and rear is pointing to 4. So now it says I can delete from front, I can insert from front, and I can delete from rear, I can insert from rear. Okay, so like this operations are possible. So this is all about DQ. Now there are different variants of DQ. When I say there is a double-ended queue, okay, there are two types. The first type is input restricted DQ, and the second type is output restricted DQ. What is input restricted DQ? Here insertions can be done only at one of the ends. Insert सिर्फ एक ही end पे होगा, लेकिन delete दोनों end पे हो सकता है. Okay, so I can say, okay, insertion always happens at the rear end. Yeah, so we see, okay, insertion mostly happens at the rear end. So I can say you can insert from the rear end, but you cannot insert from the front end. whereas delete is available from both the ends. So these three operations are possible when it is a input restricted DQ. You can see here, input restricted DQ, insertion can be done only at the one of the ends, while deletion can be done from both the ends. Whereas in output restricted DQ, what happens? Deletion can be done only at the one ends. मतलब output पे restriction है, मतलब deletion पे restriction है. यहाँ पे input पे restriction है, मतलब insert पे restriction है. और यहाँ output restricted में insertion हम लोग दोनों side से कर सकते हैं. So we can see here the front end is now, say for example, yeah, we can delete from the front. So delete from the front is available, but delete from rear is not allowed. Yeah. So we can say delete only from one end, but insert from both the ends. So this way, this output restricted DQ is there. So these are the two variants of DQ. Okay. Now let's understand the next type of a queue, that is a priority queue. Priority queue is a more specialized data structure in which elements also given some priority. I will tell you, ये one of the best example है, one of the best data structure है, which is being used mostly in our computers also and widely been used. Yeah, it is not that कि बाकी के queue कुछ काम के नहीं है. Every type of a queue has some advantage. Yeah, priority queue is most widely been used. I'll explain you how we go with it. बट इतना समझ लेना, यहाँ पे हर एक एलिमेंट को, मतलब डेटा मेंबर को सिर्फ वैल्यू नहीं होता है, उसके साथ उसका प्रायोरिटी भी आता है. ओके, so now we can say general rules for processing. Items are ordered by key value priority, so that the item with the highest priority is always at the front. हमारे पास जो भी आइटम आएगा उसके साथ उसका प्रायोरिटी आता है, और जो इसको हाईएस्ट प्रायोरिटी रहता है उसको हम लोग फ्रंट में डालते हैं. Okay, so say for example we are standing in a queue for a ticket, and if there is a handicap or specially able, differently able people have come, so obviously he will get a first chance to get the service because he is given higher priority as compared to other people. So that way there are some items which are got highest priority. So अगर कोई highest priority आएगा उसको front में डालेंगे, उसको सबसे पहले service मिलेगा. It will be executed first. Yeah, that way there are two items at the same priority. What happens if there are two items, दोनों item को priority same है, तो उसमें से कौन पहले execute होगा? Then we will go with the concept called as a first come first serve. वो दोनों में से जो So we call this concept as FCFS, first come first serve. Okay, so here items are inserted in proper position to maintain the order. So whenever I say okay, along with the values they are coming priority. So priority के हिसाब से वो order में sequence में रहते हैं, so that the order is maintained as per their priority. So now in priority queue, okay, we see the example. I told you that we are mostly using in computers. So the example can be we are using this in operating systems. Now how exactly we are using this in operating systems? So I'll just give you a small example. Okay, now I've just started my computer and I'm giving some instructions to my computer. Okay, first of all I go to YouTube, okay, and I want to download a video. Suppose the video is of half an hour. So obviously the downloading time will be, say for example, 10 minutes. Okay, now next instruction which I give is open a Word file. So Word file opening will require hardly some few milliseconds. Yeah, say for example 10 or 100 milliseconds. Then I give another operation. Okay, open another software which is a say for example Visual Studio. Okay, so it is a little big software, will take little much time, so we can say it takes 1 second to start. Okay, so now there are three operations, जिसमें से मैंने पहला दिया उसको टाइम लगने वाला है 30 minutes, दूसरे को 10 milliseconds, okay, और तीसरे को 1 second. So अगर हम लोग देखेंगे उसका तीनों का टाइम क्या है, टाइम के हिसाब से कौन सा टास्क सबसे पहले एग्जीक्यूट होगा. So which task will have lower execution time. So yes, obviously opening the Microsoft Word file which requires only 10 milliseconds. Okay, this is just I'm giving any random time. It is not exactly the case. So 10 milliseconds वाला जो है जिसको सबसे कम टाइम लगेगा वो हम लोग सबसे पहले एग्जीक्यूट करेंगे, बिकॉज वो छोटा है, लेट इट एग्जीक्यूट फर्स्ट. सो उसको प्रायोरिटी सबसे ज्यादा मिला. ये किसने डिसाइड किया? ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम ने. फिर उसके बाद और दो टास्क में से विच टास्क विल टेक मच लेस टाइम अमंग दिस टू. सो इन दोनों में से 1 second इज लेस एज कम्पेयर टू 30 minutes. सो 1 second वाले को उसके बाद एग्जीक्यूट किया, एंड देन सबसे लास्ट में जो सबसे ज्यादा टाइम लेगा उसको एग्जीक्यूट किया, दैट इज 30 minutes. Are you getting this? That means is whenever you are giving request to your computer, computer runs something in behind, okay, some algorithms, and it identifies which one should be executed first. अगर 1 second का काम है उसको execute करने के लिए मैं उसको आधा घंटा wait करूंगी क्या? या नो, दिस इज नॉट पॉसिबल. सो आधा घंटा वेटिंग टाइम के लिए उसको 1 second में अगर कोई ऐप सिर्फ ओपन करना है तो पहले उसको वो करके देते हैं, सो दैट वी कैन डू इट आराम से विद दिस 30 minutes. या सो दिस इज ऑल हैपनिंग इन द ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम. ओके, जब भी हम लोग कंप्यूटर्स को यूज करते हैं देयर आर मेनी मोर एरियाज वेर इट इज बीन यूज्ड. दिस इज वन ऑफ द स्मॉलेस्ट एग्जांपल. सो द प्रायोरिटी ऑफ द प्रोसेस इज नथिंग बट ये जो मैंने तीन आपको बोला ना, डिफरेंट डिफरेंट रिक्वेस्ट मैंने दिया, ये तीनों प्रोसेसेस है. सो ये प्रोसेस का प्रायोरिटी is based on the CPU time. That means run time कितना लगता है, as I told you in the seconds or minutes. So it requires to get completed, executed. Okay, so उसका time identify होता है, and in this case the process which requires less time will get highest priority. मतलब वो सबसे पहले execute होगा, and then accordingly it will go ahead. Okay, so I hope you are clear with the example of priority queue. Also, if you see the playlist example which I told you in the beginning is also one of the best example of queue, where हम लोग सबसे पहले जो queue में ऐड किया वही सॉन्ग पहले एग्जीक्यूट होगा, उसके बाद जो सेकंड सॉन्ग ऐड किया बाद में थर्ड, बाद में फोर्थ. सो इट विल एग्जीक्यूट द सॉन्ग्स इन द सेम पैटर्न एज यू हैव गिवन इन दैट पर्टिकुलर क्यू फ्रॉम फ्रंट टू रेयर. उसमें से अगर मैंने किसी सॉन्ग को प्रायोरिटी दिया कि इसको प्ले नेक्स्ट करो तो उसको प्रायोरिटी मिला है, तो उसको इन बिटवीन वाइल्ड कार्ड एंट्री मिलेगा और वो पहले एग्जीक्यूट होगा. So like that it happens. Okay, there are different varieties of queues. We can just use the way we want it for our application. Okay, coming ahead, this is the implementation of priority queue, and here we have the different types of priority queue: sorted list and unsorted list. अभी दो टाइप क्यू है. देखो, सॉर्टेड लिस्ट मतलब क्या? सॉर्टेड है मतलब उसका सीक्वेंस प्रॉपरली अरेंज्ड है, असेंडिंग ऑर्डर या फिर डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर. ओके, सो एलिमेंट्स आर अरेंज एट प्रॉपर पोजीशन अकॉर्डिंग टू प्रायोरिटी. सपोज मैंने बोला कि पहले मैंने एक आइटम डाला, आइटम ए, और आइटम ए का प्रायोरिटी था 2. ओके, फिर मैंने बोला आइटम बी. आइटम बी का प्रायोरिटी है, आई जस्ट टेल यू, आइटम ए इज विथ प्रायोरिटी 1. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, item A is there, it's having priority 2. Item B is having priority 1. So पहले execute कौन होना चाहिए? Item B. So what it will do, whenever you are entering the new elements, उसी टाइम पे वो क्या करेगा? So what it will do, it will first add A. Okay, that is done properly. Now A has been added. Now it knows that B has priority 1. 1 is the highest priority. So वो क्या करेगा? B को पहले execute होना चाहिए, तो B को वो फ्रंट में लेके आएगा. इंस्टेड ऑफ एडिंग द B एट द रेयर, B को फ्रंट में ऐड करेगा और A को थोड़ा पीछे भेजेगा. गेटिंग इट? देन देयर कम्स C विद द प्रायोरिटी 3. सो C को वो रेयर एंड में ऐड करेगा. दैट मीन्स C विल कम आफ्टर A with the priority 3, like this. So whenever you are entering these values, that time only you are arranging them as per their priority. So whenever while deletion, the elements can be deleted directly from the queue without checking. So delete करते वक्त मैं पहले B को, बाद में A को, बाद में C को delete कर रही हूँ. तो delete करते वक्त मैं कुछ सोच ही नहीं रही हूँ. I'm just deleting, and I know I'm deleting as per their priorities. Okay, but when I'm entering, I'm making calculations and I'm checking that they are entering at the proper place. So here that's why insertion will take much time and deletion is take only one time, because directly front से delete तो करके जाना है, तो एक instruction में काम हो जाएगा. लेकिन insert करते वक्त मुझे उस नंबर को बाकी के सारे नंबर के साथ compare करना पड़ता है, इसलिए मुझे n टाइम लगेगा. n is nothing but the size of your array. Suppose मेरा array में 10 नंबर है, तो नए नंबर को मुझे ये सारे 10 के साथ compare करने के लिए 10 टाइम यूनिट लगेगा. That's why the time will be big of n here. Exactly opposite is the case with the unsorted list. Okay, so I'll explain you this. Suppose in unsorted list, the first item which comes to me is A with priority 2. उसने उसको ऐड कर लिया. ये मेरा फ्रंट है, ओके, और ये मेरा रेयर है. नेक्स्ट आइटम आया क्यू में जिसने बोला कि इट इज बी with the priority 1. उसको उसने डायरेक्टली रेयर में ऐड किया. इवन दो प्रायोरिटी के वाइज वो बराबर नहीं है, फिर भी उसने रेयर में ऐड किया. दैट मीन्स इंसर्शन आर डायरेक्टली डन एट द एंड ऑफ द लिंक लिस्ट विदाउट चेकिंग एनी प्रायोरिटी. उसके बाद सी आया विद प्रायोरिटी 3. इट जस्ट एडेड डायरेक्टली एट द रेयर एंड. Now it is not taking any calculations while inserting. Directly adding at the rear will take insertion in only big O of one time. One time unit में हम लोग का insert हो जाता है. But while deleting, या इट इज अ प्रायोरिटी क्यू, तो उसको डिलीट प्रॉपरली प्रायोरिटी के हिसाब से ही करना है. सो फॉर डिलीशन एलिमेंट्स विल ऑलवेज चेक फॉर हायर प्रायोरिटी फर्स्ट. सो ये तीनों में से कौन सा हाईएस्ट प्रायोरिटी है? ओके, बी इज द वन विद द हाईएस्ट प्रायोरिटी, उसको पहले एग्जीक्यूट करो. सो नाउ द वन विल बी एग्जीक्यूटेड फर्स्ट इज बी. So every time I'm deleting, I'm checking for higher priority. That means I'm checking the entire array of 10 elements and I'm checking which is the one to be executed first, and then I'm executing that value. That means it will take me the size of array, that is, say for example n is the size, it will take n time to execute the delete operation. Okay, so this way every time I'm deleting, I'm checking for higher priority. And then after deleting b, again I want to delete something, so I'll again check and I'll say okay, a is to be deleted, and at the last the c will be deleted. Okay, so this way it happens with the priority queue. It comes in two types, sorted and unsorted. Okay, so in this video, what we have learned today is what is a queue, how do we represent a queue, what is the front and rear of the queue, what are different types of queue, what are different operations, that is enqueue and dequeue, how do I represent the queue using arrays and linked list, so that we can see in the program. So for those programs, please watch the next videos, okay, and do subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.